Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 96 of Crunch Time with the N326 Duo. I am your host, Sam Godsey, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Tanner Dyslin. Tanner, how are you doing today?
I tell you what, Sam, I am doing real well right now. We're recording this episode, of course, on Tuesday, and watching the MLB All-Star game. It is the All-Star break, which is really All-Star festivities on Monday and Tuesday, and the rest of the break. Emphasis on break. To start the game, actually, Ronald Acuna and Freddie Freeman, the top two batters in the NL lineup, each hit rockets to the opposite field, and the left and right fielders are Adolis Garcia, Randy Arozarena. They faced each other in the home run derby. We'll talk about that more later. Really good friends. They each made jumping catches at the wall to rob extra base hits as the first two outs of the game. So that got me smiling to start the All-Star game, to start the episode. Some good vibes in here. You can take a look. One.
Great first inning by the GOAT, Garrett Cole, too.
Oh, shut it.
But we have an action-packed episode for you today. We talk NBA Summer League. We go on the diamond with Dyslin. And, of course, we're going to wrap up the episode with a special Mount Rushmore and questions. We talk about this and so much more on episode 96 of Crunch Time. Tanner, we'll start, as we always do, with winners and losers. Tanner, who is your winner of the episode?
Yeah, man, my winner of the episode is going to be the good old US of A, baby.
Woo!
The CONCACAF Gold Cup. Totally watch that every year. In the quarterfinals, we're footy guys. Footy is back. In the quarterfinals, the U.S. played Canada, those bastards up north, and it was actually an awesome game.
Yeah.
It was 0-0 through 87 minutes, and in the 88th, the U.S. Drew first blood, to which Canada then responded and tied in stoppage time in the 92nd minute. So then we go to extra time. Canada scored in the 109th minute. Panic started to set in for the good old American faithful. And then from an own goal from a Canadian defender, it was a good shot from the U.S. player, and the goalie saved it, and an unfortunate bounce right off of the Canadian player. Well, unfortunate for the player, fortunate for us. Fortunate for us.
And that's all that matters.
Of course, that's all that matters. But yeah, in the 115th minute, it was pretty exciting to come back and equalize with 5 minutes left in the game. We go to everyone's favorite way to decide any game in the history of sports, penalty shootout. So intense, so much fun, and U.S. pulled through, winning that. I believe they won 5-3 on pens, or 5-2 actually. So that was a lot of fun to watch, and going through Twitter at that time was pretty fun because we're in the land of sports, and especially when the MLB, MLB's not playing.
Yeah,
everyone seemed to be watching this game, so Twitter was fun, and reacting to it was all really fun. So
yeah,
US of A, baby.
Yeah.
I believe that we will win. I would have liked to have beaten Canada by more than one, by more decisively than penalty kicks. But
right. That was what it is.
We didn't have Pulisic.
Yeah, this is true.
Pulisic.
Okay. I think.
Footy guys.
Yeah, footy. That's actually a great segue. USA, we celebrated Independence Day a couple days ago. And, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Joey Jaws Chestnut, saving the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. There was a weather delay, bad storm on Coney Island. But Joey Chestnut basically said, F that, we're going.
Because they canceled it, right? They officially canceled it.
Yeah.
Joey Chestnut
was like, no, man.
Has so much sway in that he said, hell no.
Yeah, so, and of course he did what he did best. Chomp down some glizzies.
Best glizzy gobbler on the man.
Absolutely. 62 dogs in 10 minutes. Absolute unit. Claiming his 16th title.
Dominance.
Dominant.
Dynasty.
Greatest athlete of all time?
Definitely. Name me one other athlete that can walk into the event that's canceled and be like, no, wrong. We're doing this.
Yeah.
Name me one other player.
No.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Shohei can't do that in baseball.
No.
Like, it's just not happening.
No.
It's just not happening. Joey Chestnut is the greatest. Joey Chestnut is the most dominant. And what do you think of the take? He's one of the greatest Americans to ever live.
Yeah.
Gotta be. Save 4th of July?
Yeah.
Save 4th of July.
Yep.
Absolute unit.
Yeah. So Joey Chestnut's my big winner. Tanner, we're going to go on the other side of things. Who is your loser of the episode?
Boy. My loser is going to be loyalty. And you know, when I say loyalty, I am talking about Damian Lillard. What an interesting couple weeks it has been. Of course, last time we recorded an episode, none of this had broke. We weren't sure if he was going to want to trade or not. We weren't sure exactly what was going on. Well, turns out he does, which came out a few days after I think I read a report that said he didn't want to trade.
Yeah.
So I was under the impression that he didn't want to trade, that he was going to be a trailblazer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Trailblazers were under that impression. Yeah. So they went out and brought back Jeremy Grant on a deal that they definitely should not have signed.
Yeah.
Overpaid for him totally, but you got to do what you got to do to get at least semi-competent, good players to play with your superstar who wants out, is not happy, all this stuff. And then it turns out, just a few days later, he's like, no, actually, I do want out.
Yeah.
So much so that he screwed them by originally saying he wanted in.
Yeah.
And then they gave out this deal that they probably shouldn't have, halting their rebuild a little bit more because now they have less cap space to play with. Then he demands the trade, and he publicly says where he wants to go, which always just plummets your value whenever you're like, I want to go here. Because in the NBA, it's a players' league. If you're not where you want to be, you're gonna be able to force your way out and go to a place you do want to be.
Yeah.
So no one wants to trade for him if he doesn't want to be there. So he plummets the trade value, and his agent calls teams that are not the Miami Heat, which is his preferred destination, of course, saying, do not trade for Damian Lillard because he will be unhappy, he will sit out, and he will not play.
Yeah.
So basically, he backed the Trailblazers into a corner and said, you have to trade me, even though your offseason plan was as if I was going to be here. And you have to trade me here, a team that really doesn't have that much to offer in the first place.
Yeah.
And no other team will bid against them to raise up that price because they all think I will not play for them if traded to them.
Yeah.
Absurd.
Absolutely.
Absurd. And I hear this, I've seen a lot of the take on Twitter that like the loyalty he showed the Blazers, he should be able to be sent where he want. F that. You want loyalty? The way to be loyal is if you are drafted to a small market team, the way to be loyal is try your damn best to build a championship team at that place. And if it doesn't work, which this didn't work, you get traded to a large market team. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
The Pelicans did it with Anthony Davis. There are so many examples of this, right? Except for Giannis, who seems to be a rare breed in that sense.
Yeah.
But that's just the nature of the NBA right now. And when it doesn't work and it comes time to get your next contract, you get traded to a large market team. And the small market team just loads up on assets in that and kickstarts the rebuild. That's how it goes. And his loyalty has actively, completely set their rebuild back multiple years by being selfish and by not being loyal at all. Because the best thing for the team would have been for him to play the game, get traded to a contender, get the maximum return back, and just not continuously plummet his trade value.
Yeah.
So it just really annoys me. So as you can tell, I'm starting to get animated, but he's just an absolute loser. The way he's handled it has been absolutely awful.
Yeah, absolutely. It's wild. Like you said, it puts everyone at a hard spot. I do think Joe Cronin, general manager of the Trailblazers, is kind of playing his cards right. He said, we're in no rush to trade him. He can
Yeah.
He does not see, with that quote, he seems to be all right with Dame just sitting on the bench. And
if he sits out, he sits out. That's what he's been doing for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Man.
What's the difference, But yeah, definitely Dame is a massive, massive loser. Another loser, this is on the lighter side, and I'm sure all of y'all have seen it. Poor kid in the outfield during the home run derby.
Dude, MLB, PSA, MLB, stop putting little kids out there to catch 125-mile-an-hour rockets from some of the strongest men on earth and best baseball players on earth. Can you please stop it? Oh, I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah. So who was batting at that point?
I think it was Vladdy.
So Vladimir Guerrero,
who won the damn thing, by the way.
What had to fly out to line out, I should say, and the kid just flat out missed it, knocked him out
right in the face.
Right in the face. That's gotta hurt.
Tough to watch, man.
Definitely a loser though. Funny.
Oh, absolutely hysterical.
Hilarious.
But again, bottom line, MLB, stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop doing this. Stop doing this.
Like, that makes no sense. Yeah. At least why don't they just bring in a Little League World Series? Like that's a little better.
People who have baseball experience.
Right?
Because anyone who's played any sort of amount of competitive baseball would have been able to catch that. It was right at him. But nope, because just a small kid didn't. Yeah, right in the face.
Yeah, that was tough. But we're going to switch to the NBA. We're going to talk a little Summer League. Obviously, Tanner, big storyline coming into this Summer League was Victor Wembanyama. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? How's he going to do? And that game one was atrocious, to say the least. I mean, if you look at his stats, it's really not that bad. It's definitely not the greatest prospect since LeBron numbers, but 9 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 blocks. Decent. Then you look at his shooting percentage. Shot 2 for 13 in the field. So that's how we saw Victor Wembanyama debut in the NBA. Not even top tier talent. This is Summer League.
Yeah, that's true.
But he did bounce back. Gotta give the man props for bouncing back after what went down with him and Britney Spears, He bounced back, 27 points, 12 boards, 3 blocks, looked as good as ever. So what were your kind of first impressions of Victor? He has been shut down for the rest of Summer League, but let me get your first thoughts on this guy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate we won't get to see him anymore. Probably the right move for the Spurs. 2 things stood out to me. Number one, you kind of touched on it, just the resiliency, right? I mean, everybody in the mother was talking about, whoa, Wemby.
Yeah.
He didn't look good. Should we be concerned? And to come out and have the game 2 that he did, what did you say? He had 27 or something like that?
And 12.
Yeah, 27 and 12. And just be steady and kind of silence that is impressive, obviously, in the NBA.
Yeah.
You need that level of resiliency, right? But that's just basketball, too. You'll have bad shooting nights all the time when you're the best prospect since LeBron and you have that on your first game. It's a little tough. But that resiliency was good to see. And number 2, what I saw in the first game immediately, what his immediate impact in the league is going to be, because he's going to have to adjust offensively.
Yeah,
right? I mean, he's going to have to. His impact on the defensive end of the floor is instantaneous.
Yeah.
You mentioned the 5 blocks he had. Those aren't your traditional blocks where, pinning him against the backboard or no, he's blocking 3-point jump shots. People think, he's 3-4 feet in front of the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Think in the people who are playing against him think they have a free 3-point open shot, and he's blocking them. That's how long he is. That's how quick he is. And that impact is going to be real and fast.
Yeah.
Not just block shots, the athleticism, the way he's able to move. We're definitely going to need to hopefully see some bulk getting a little bit stronger, but then rebounding too. I mean, when you're that long, you're just going to suck in the rebounds.
Yeah.
Which game 2, he had 12 boards, right? So
yeah.
that level of rim protection and just dominance on the boards is something that San Antonio will notice right away, even if it takes some time to adjust offensively, which I think is really what makes him such a special prospect.
Yeah, absolutely. Even in that first game, you saw the flashes of why this dude's being compared to LeBron for sure. I think it does suck that he's getting shut down, but when you see guys like Scoot Henderson with that shoulder injury, and then Amon Thompson with that high ankle sprain, you got to do it. Outside of Victor, there's been two dudes that have just been going absolutely crazy. Of course, Jabari Smith Jr. In just 2 games, he's averaging 35.5 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 48.8% from the field. And then Keontae George for the Jazz, 29.5 points, 8.5 assists, 2.5 boards, and 53.8% from the field. So we're seeing Jabari Smith. Usually you don't see second-year starters in the summer league, but he basically said, we suck this year. I'm going to try and get reps with the new coach, new guys, and boy, is he playing tremendous.
Yeah, that's really stuff you like to see, right? And you mentioned the key thing here. The second-year player, he knows what it's like to play NBA basketball, and just putting another offseason, having that confidence. I mean, he's no longer the new kid on the block. Mm-hmm. He's the seasoned vet, quote unquote, in the summer league.
Team, yeah.
And just something like that is just the confidence level, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the game, I don't remember who they were playing, but he scored 38 that game we were watching. Yeah. I mean, just that's obviously.
I think it was a Pistons.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be Thompson versus Thompson.
Yep, it was against the Pistons, and obviously he put up 38. He never did that in his rookie season, but that was not the same player. The confidence you saw with the ball in his hand, the shot making, the play making. He was scoring from all over the floor. Multiple dunks, contested dunks, and fadeaway J's. And if that's the player that he can develop, and just something as simple as confidence. That's all it is. Gain the confidence in the summer league. Realize, hey, I can play with these guys. Might transfer over to the regular season, and Lord knows the Rockets would take that.
Yeah,
because he looks really good right now.
Yeah, and I think something we're seeing from Jabari Smith is his leadership as well, being that second-year guy. You see him communicating amongst his teammates, being a floor general. But I want to switch to Keontae George. He's kind of been quiet due to him being on the Jazz, and let's be honest, no one really cares about the Jazz. But Keontae George is putting up great numbers. He dropped to 16. I thought he was going to be a lottery pick, to be honest with you, Tanner, but he's playing well. So just some brief information on the Summer League. If it's on, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, oh, I got to tune in to the Grizzlies versus the Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
No, I want to see the star players of this Summer League, like the Rockets have been super fun to watch.
Rockets, Pistons, like any of these with young talent that's playing.
Yeah.
For sure.
But that's going to kind of wrap it up for the NBA. We're going to be, I assume, if we ever see a Dame trade, we'll hop back into that. More NBA news, I'm sure, is to come. But let's go to on the diamond with Dyslin.
Let's do it.
Tanner, fill us in on kind of what's been happening. Obviously, we're at the All-Star break, or All-Star 2-day, really, and then the break. Last night we had the Home Run Derby. Let the people know what happened there. It was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's always a fun time, right? There's nothing better than just a couple of big dudes getting together and just hitting dingers,
and
right? What'd you say?
And Pete Alonso.
Oh, yeah.
And Mookie Betts.
Well, Mookie Betts isn't big and he didn't hit a lot of dingers. But anyway, as we dive into this thing here, what's interesting, Sam, an American player did not win a single round in this Derby. So the 1 in the 8, Luis Robert Jr. and Adley Rushman. I mean, Adley Rushman was impressive. One of the coolest moments.
Sick.
One of the coolest moments in the Derby. He goes through, does his main round, batting lefty. Of course, he's a switch hitter. For his bonus time, he says, F this, I'm going to turn around. And he swung righty, and he went on like a 7-home run streak hitting righty. It was pretty sweet. But he put up 27 in his first round, and Louis Bob just came in and said,
"Yeah, unfortunately, he
just said
going
27. That's weak. He did 28, and I don't even think he needed his bonus time."
Yeah.
Then in the 4-5, I mentioned this before, and when I was talking about the All-Star game, starting left and right fielders for the American League, Adolis Garcia and Randy Arozarena, 2 Cuban-born players. I believe that Adolis Garcia is the godfather to Randy Arozarena's daughter.
Oh, really?
They said that last night.
Cool.
Or it's either that way or it's reversed. But yeah, they're really close. They faced off against each other in the first round. Pretty standard stuff. Adolis struggled a little bit, putting up 17. Randy with 24 won that. We'll go to the 2-7, Pete Alonso, the world's greatest tryhard in this, versus Julio Rodriguez. Julio Rodriguez. That's all he put up 41 in the first round. It was absolutely electric. Pete Alonso had prime Justin Verlander throw. He's a teammate now, so Verlander was out throwing him nasty 12-6 curves and sliders away.
That's tough.
Yeah, not a good look. Bad throwing, and Pete didn't show out either. And Julio was at that was
it was lost.
That was the most fun. He hit 41 in the first round, absolutely insane.
Hit 452.
and then the 3-6 was Mookie Betts, who basically came in and said, "I got no shot. I'm here for the memes." He actually didn't do it, and his wife said, "Hey, you should do it." And he's like, "All right, I'll do it." And he put up 11. Tough one for Mookie. And then Vladdy Daddy, the absolute dumpy of baseball.
Yep.
He hit 26, won that comfortably. Heading to the semifinals, he had Randy versus Louis Bob. Randy catches fire. He puts up 35 in round 2. Louis Bob couldn't catch that same streak he had in round 1, only put up 22. Randy won that. Julio, we see it every year. The person who goes off in the first round always falters. It was Vladdy a couple of years ago. This year, Julio, he loses to Vladdy 21-20 in the next round. Vladdy, Randy, this was awesome. Vladdy goes first. He hit 25. Randy, I think he had 21 with 30 seconds left. He just needed 4 home runs in his bonus time to tie. Couldn't do it, only hit 2. And Vladimir ended up winning 25-23 over Randy. But yeah, that's the semifinal matchups. Randy versus Louis Bob, both Cuban. Even though Randy did play for Mexico in the World Baseball Classic, but born in Cuba. And then the other 2, Vladdy versus Julio, 2 Dominican-born players. So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I think the best part about this moment of Vladdy winning this thing was how gassed that man was.
Yeah, he just wanted some Gatorade and a seat. That's all he wanted. I don't blame him.
But one of the coolest stories from this, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. winning. His dad did it in 2007.
Of course.
And it's actually the first father and son duo to ever win the home run derby. So a little fun fact for you there. So yeah, it was electric even as a baseball guy. Not a baseball guy, excuse me. The home run derby is electric.
It's just so fun.
It's so fun.
It's so fun.
And they make it look so freaking effortless.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're just like, who was White Sox? The White Sox player.
Luis Robert.
Dude, I swear he wasn't swinging.
He wasn't. Yeah, it was just like...
He was just like,
Yeah, just...
450.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how they do that. Yandy Diaz, by the way, of the Tampa Bay Rays, goes yard in the All-Star game, making it 1-0 AL.
Yeah. I do have a question.
Let's hear it.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. Everyone gets the 30-second bonus.
Yeah.
Why don't they just?
It's so stupid. I understand doing bonuses. You hit 2
Yeah.
440. You
That's cool. Time. I'm with that
because that's literally a bonus.
Yeah.
If everyone gets it, not a bonus. It's just regular time.
Yeah.
I completely agree. A little bit stupid there, but it's probably just a way that they can because for the bonus time they use the special balls, so they can sell sponsorship for the T-Mobile balls.
Okay.
They can sell sponsorship. It's all about.
Yep, all about the money. So obviously we're in the middle of the All-Star game, like you said, 1-0 AL, bottom of the second. So this is kind of the midway point of the MLB season. We kind of have a good look on these award races going on. We're going to be talking about the MVP, Cy Young, and Rookie of the Year. So Tanner, let's start with the MVP. Let the people know who's kind of the front runners here.
All right, so you want to start in the AL or the NL?
NL.
NL?
Yeah.
We'll start in the NL because, to be fair, I think they're both pretty obvious at this moment, but AL is. Yeah. So over in the NL side of things, my MVP for the first half of the year, it's a pretty common take. I think everyone's kind of on the same page. It's Ronald Acuna Jr. He has been unbelievable this year, and it's so good to see. I mean, I personally hate to see it as someone who hates the Braves a lot, but he's really, he's incredibly fun to watch play baseball. But after last year, he kind of had a career down year. He came off that torn ACL in 2021. He didn't really look healthy. He was kind of laboring a little bit, favoring that knee, and definitely hadn't seen him play fully healthy in a little bit now. And he is fully healthy. And my dude is absolutely on a tear. He's number 2 in the MLB in OPS at a 990 OPS. He's hitting 331 with a 331, 408, 582 slash. So he's slugging 582 and hitting 331 for average, for power, 21 tanks. But that's not, arguably, that's not the most impressive part of what he's doing this year. How about 41 stolen bags?
Oh.
41.
Oh.
A major landmark in baseball is to have the 40-40 season. 40 home runs, 40 stolen bases. He's on track for 40-80.
Jeez.
40-80.
That's insane.
A true 5-tool player. They do not come around anymore except if your name is Ronald Acuna. He's been absolutely magnificent, but he's only number 2 in OPS because there's one person better. But it's Acuna for the NL for sure. Not even close.
What about on the other side of things, the
AL? Believe it or not, Sam, it's actually the person who leads the MLB in OPS. He has a 1.05 OPS, slash line of 302, 387, 663, a 663 slug. This gentleman leads the MLB in home runs, extra base hits, OPS, and opponent average, because this guy pitches too, of course. It's Shohei Ohtani. I don't really know what else to say that you haven't heard already. The dude pitches at an elite level, hits at an elite level, quite literally statistically, the best in the league.
Yeah. Still
hitting north of 300. OPS over 1,000, 32 tanks, 71 RBIs, leads the league in extra base hits, and add 11 stolen bags on there too. Because what the hell else can?
Why not?
Ronald Acuna is a 5-tool player. Shohei's an 8-tool player.
Yeah, absolutely. So next we're going to go on the mound. Obviously talking about this Cy Young here. Is Shohei the guy in the AL, or is there some other guys we need to be on the lookout for?
I'm actually going to lean a different way here. I'm going to go Framber Valdez as my American League Cy Young winner from the American League, as I just said. First off, leads the league in ERA. Posted 2.51. That is number 1. Number 2, Shane McClanahan, who won it last year and really is the other candidate for this AL MVP or Cy Young. Excuse me. But taking a deeper look into this, he's posting a 167 ERA plus. That's the highest of his career. MLB average is 100, so 67% above average. Yeah, he's put that 2.51 ERA, as I mentioned. His FIP, which stands for Fielder Independent Pitching, which is trying to take a measurement of just what quality of contact is he giving up, trying to take fielders out of it. It's a 2.81, so his FIP is still ridiculously good.
Not bad.
Yeah, he's been absolutely incredible this year. 1.05 WHIP, not much more you can ask for. He's only 7-6, which pitcher wins one of the dumbest stats of all time.
Yeah,
but Framber Valdez, absolutely untouchable this year.
yeah. And on the other side of things,
Yeah, on the other side, we're gonna go with Sam, someone who started this game for the National League, Zach Gallen. The biggest surprise of the MLB season for me has been the Arizona Diamondbacks and just how freaking good they've been this year. Mostly because of Zach Gallen. He has been absolutely incredible. He is his ERA is a little bit higher than Framber's. He's putting up a 3.04 ERA, but he's 11-3 right now. So his key point in that success, his FIP is actually lower than Framber's. He's got a 2.77 FIP. So he's gotten a little unlucky with fielder placement and quality of contact given up. 1.04 WHIP, which is better than Framber's. And an ERA plus, excuse me, if I can talk, of 140. So, Zach Gallen is criminally underrated as a pitcher in his career. Last year, he posted a 158 ERA plus. Got hurt a little bit, didn't make as many starts to qualify for some of these. But Zach Gallen has been absolutely awesome this year, the all-star starter.
Yeah.
And he deserves to be the NL Cy Young. And if his numbers kind of sway back to the mean, as evident by his FIP, and that ERA will come down a little bit, we might see a sub-3 ERA type of pitcher from Zach Gallen, and which a team that is surprising everybody and could honestly go deep in October.
Yeah, I think the Diamondbacks have kind of shocked everyone. But final award we're going to talk about on this episode, Rookie of the Year. Where you want to start, AL or NL?
We'll start on the NL because I think that's the obvious one.
Yeah.
We kind of have, it's kind of like a Shohei situation where there's one clear answer, and it's Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll of the Diamondbacks, another main reason why the Diamondbacks are as good as they are. I'm going through, and I'm naming all these players. Like, one stat I haven't named is WAR, which stands for wins above replacement, and it is a measurement of how many more wins a team has because this player was playing. So for Shohei, his WAR is 6.5. So basically they're saying that if they replace Shohei with a league average player, he has earned them 6.5 runs above the average.
Okay.
Or 6.5 wins above the average. Shohei, obviously pitching and hitting, 6.5. Highest by far. Ronald Acuna's posted a 5. Then we get to Corbin Carroll, which obviously not as high as those, but this is a rookie who posted a 3.8 WAR in the first half of the season. He's hitting 289, 18 tanks, 89 total hits, spraying the ball a little bit. His OBP, 366, slug, 549 for a 915 OPS. This dude's right on par with Acuna in terms of OPS, a little bit lower than that. 148 OPS plus, meaning he's 48% above the average in hitting this so far this year. He's one of the fastest players in the league too. Right now he's sitting at 26 stolen bags, so on pace for 52, which would, if he picks up the home run pace a little bit, he could possibly be a 40-40 player, only sitting at 18 home runs right now. But he's been the runaway National League Rookie of the Year. Seems like a true star in the making.
Yeah. And the
AL, this one's a little bit more contestable, but I still think there is a decently clear answer, and that's Josh Jung of the Texas Rangers, another team that has surprised a lot of people, and he is a big reason why. He's hitting 280. His slash line is 280, 331, 504 for an 835 OPS plus. So still very, very good. 126 OPS plus, 26% above the average player. A lot of pop with this young player. I mentioned the 19 home runs, which is more than Carroll, slugging at a 5.04 rate. A lot of extra base hits too. He's been very, very impressive. Also adding in one stolen base. So
There you go.
not known for his speed, of course, but that power is something to behold at the hot corner in Texas. And I think he's going to be there for a while. So
Yeah.
Josh Jung, Corbin Carroll, very impressive rookies.
Yeah. So that will wrap it up on the diamond with Dyslin. Tanner, thank you so much for filling us in on those award races, the home run derby. And we're kind of in that waiting zone after tonight with the All-Star game. But we will be back on the diamond sooner rather than
back, man, for a little postseason push.
Yeah,
That'll
absolutely.
be fun. You know who won't be there?
The Mets.
Probably not.
Near the Cubs. So.
Let's go. Who would have thought? Let's go. Not me.
But it is time, Tanner. It is time for our favorite segment.
Yeah.
And hopefully yours too. Mount Rushmore. And today's prompt is people that didn't pan out the way we thought they would. Tanner, you're the co-host today. What's your 1-1?
Yeah. So my 1-1, I tell you what, I think this is the one that immediately popped into my mind. If you told me where this person ended up today, if you asked me where I think they would end up, I would have never come up with this in 1,000 years. I'm gonna go with Bruce Jenner.
Nice! I had that one!
Let's go! That's the one that popped into my mind. I mean, didn't expect it. If you had that on your bingo card, more power to you.
Good.
More power to you. But for me, that's a clear 1-1
That's
in my
good.
opinion. Clear 1-1.
That's a good one. Nice, dude.
Thank you. Yeah, look at us.
Damn, another steal. For my 1-1, I'm going to go with a character from an all-time TV show. And that, of course, is Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen Game of
Spoiler alert.
Thrones. Spoiler alert.
Skip a little bit. Starts out freeing all these slaves among all these lands. Turns out she's building this army, the Unsullied, this huge army, freeing a bunch of people, and is like the second coming. Like, she is the gal. And season 8 happens. And she's wrecking shit.
Just decides to light a whole
She's
city on
wrecking
fire.
shit.
It happens.
And just lights King's Landing on fire.
It happens, man.
It happens. So yeah, that is
That's
my
cool.
1-1 Daenerys Targaryen. Now my second pick is a movie character. Severus Snape.
Oh!
Another spoiler alert. Severus Snape. But Dumbledore. Snape. Ron Weasley. Beautiful. But if you haven't seen Harry Potter, what are you doing? But his development throughout this movie series is one of the craziest. I mean, he starts out like, oh yeah, Voldemort's my guy. I'm with Slytherin, we like that. And then that kind of continues throughout the...
That's an exact quote, by the way.
Yeah.
Voldemort's my guy. We Slytherin. We like it. That's what he does.
Core.
That's just what Severus Snape do.
And turns out he just is belittling Harry Potter for like 7.5 movies. And then part 2 happens. And turns out Snape was not a big fan of James Potter, Harry's daddy.
Didn't like.
But in the end of it all, Severus Snape kind of getting Tanner's crown as the best character in Harry Potter.
Easily. One of the best characters, period.
As he sacrifices himself for Harry and reveals he was madly in love with Lily Potter, Harry's mother. So he kind of does all this crazy stuff just to protect the guy when, in all reality, we think, screw this dude.
We think he's the true villain, when in reality, he's the true hero, not some little kid who doesn't know. To quote Ruth Langmore, excuse my French, he doesn't know shit about fuck. And then Severus Snape, the true hero, constantly saves him and constantly works to keep him alive. Yeah, absolute goat.
Yeah.
Absolute goat. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thought you liked that one.
I do. Now, number 2, for me, this is one that always comes up in my mind. I am going to go the sports route. However, it's not a player. It's not a traditional, draft bust.
Yeah.
Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Chip Kelly because he was the hottest thing in the world at a
Oh, yeah.
That West Coast offense.
Oh, yeah.
60, 70.
Oh, yeah. Marcus Mariota. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
That was my team, man.
They were so fun to watch, and he was walking on the clouds. He couldn't do anything wrong. Then he goes to the NFL.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to be very successful. I mean, how could he not? He was the best football coach on planet Earth at this point. He goes to the Eagles, completely just implodes.
Yeah.
And goes to the 49ers. Doesn't work there either. Now he's at UCLA, which has been semi-successful so far.
Mm-hmm.
They've been a respectable program. But this dude went from being literally the best football coach on planet Earth, most talked about football coach on planet Earth, the most sought-after offensive mind, to a few years later, just not being talked about at all.
Yeah.
I wonder how many casual fans you go up and say, Chip Kelly, who's he coaching for now? They have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
When they probably will know, Chip Kelly, Oregon.
Yeah.
Crazy how that happened.
Yeah, he was, God, those Oregon teams were so freaking fun. Marcus Mariota, Anthony Thomas, Michael James. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Memories, man.
Crazy how that happened.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Number 3, we're gonna stick fictional characters. This one's a tough one because imagine being brought in, you're the chosen one. You're the most powerful. You're the most powerful one of member of an ancient order. And then you just join the mortal enemy. Give me Anakin Skywalker. Don't think they saw that coming.
Tanner?
Yeah.
I had that.
Let's go. Let's go.
Who would have thought?
Down
Who
goes
would have
the plug.
thought?
Down goes
Who would
the
have
plug.
thought? Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed. But imagine being Liam Neeson's character, Qui-Gon Jinn. You're dying. You're Obi-Wan, you need to train this guy. He's the chosen one. And then he turns out to be a villain. Join the Sith. Yeah. His Force Ghost was probably
yeah.
Oops.
That's tough.
Oops.
That's tough.
So I don't think that panned out very well. So
yeah,
I'm gonna take Anakin Skywalker.
Good. That's good. God, I got a lot on my board here. I think I'm gonna go with this one with my 3rd pick. I'm gonna go with Britney Spears.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Obviously, Britney Spears, one of the biggest pop stars of all time.
Big basketball fan.
Huge Victor Wembanyama fan. And obviously, she has hit after hit, late 90s. Then she goes batshit crazy, shaves her head, this whole father relationship, and she just kind of falls off the face of the earth. It's kind of making a comeback, but Britney Spears is my third pick.
I like it.
Definitely didn't pan out the way we thought we would.
No, not at all.
No,
not at all.
Not at all. And then finally, my last pick. It's a good one. You're going to like this. Keegan Turnbow on this podcast.
Oh no!
So, depending on how long you have been listening to this podcast, we used to have 3 of us. And let's just say the third member decided this wasn't his thing. And we thought this was going to be like just guys talking sports, having a good time. And then one week, Hughes is just like...
He said, hashtag quit.
He did have a brutal punishment, though, so maybe that...
Oh, the horsey?
The horsey and the chubby bunny challenge?
Oh,
that was
that
tough.
was so funny.
That was tough.
That was
If you haven't
so
seen that,
funny.
go watch it. It's on our TikTok. I'll shout that out at the end of the episode. But, yep, number 4.
Great stuff.
Keegan Turnbow.
Did not expect that.
Let's
Did
go.
not expect that. Gotta give it up. Round of applause. I have a couple places I can go here. Thing is, I thought I was gonna be deciding between 2, but that is a very similar vibe to one of the ones you just had.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick to my guns here. Someone who seemed to have a promising start to their career and then just fell off the earth because they were surpassed by one of their co-workers, Victoria Justice.
Oh!
Give me
dude,
Victoria Justice.
I was thinking about that. That's a great pick.
Right? She was going to be the next, like the Nickelodeon Miley Cyrus having her own songs.
Oh, yeah.
Show. I mean, obviously she did have her own show. But like...
She was not the main character.
No. But like, just like songs for Nickelodeon songs for years and years to come, shows, movies, all that crap. And then turns out Ariana Grande is just a better singer than her, better actress than her, and just better than her in a lot of different ways, and completely took over the career that Victoria Justice was supposed to have. Yeah. So after the Victorious, it seemed like she fell off.
What's she up to?
Not a clue. I was trying to, when I was coming up with this, I was trying to think, like, who, what can I name that, like, Victoria Justice is in? I know she was in Zoe 101.
She was.
I know she was in Victorious. There's something where she plays, like, a vampire. I don't know the name of it. But, like, after that, I'm stumped.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, not great. Let's see. Yeah.
What's the one with the vampire?
She was on Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. You know?
I didn't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, I got nothing for you.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, she was...
The Boy Who Cried Werewolf was the name of that movie I was talking about. But yeah,
it's tough.
A little bit.
Yeah, especially when the whole show is made for you.
Yeah, it's literally called Victory was in her character's name. Oh, and Victoria Justice, Victorious. Tough. They tried everything to give it to you, and
she failed.
You choked it.
Yeah.
You sold. You sold to Ariana Grande. So
yeah, that's tough. You got any honorable mentions for us there?
You know I do. The other one I was deciding between, on the same level, Demi Lovato.
Yeah. Tough.
Disaster struck there. So that was another one. The sports route, you always got to throw in Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah.
The dude was given blank tapes. And just
that's tough.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Hilarious.
What about you? You got any?
I got a couple, man. I got kind of on the same wavelength as Britney Spears, Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye.
I had him on my list too.
Kanye.
I did.
Going sports routes, I got Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
But he's kind of making a comeback with a documentary coming out I talked about. Michael Vick, another one.
Oh.
That's tough. Seventh Woods is another one. He had like one of the greatest hoop mixtapes of all time. You got any more?
Yeah, I mean, I did have two. One was Kanye. The last one, look, Kobe post retirement. Didn't see that one coming. Not gonna lie to you. I don't think that went according to plan. Oh no! I've knocked him out.
Best answer.
I could have gone one of two ways.
Oh my god!
Damn
I was not expecting
I should have
that.
used that in my mouth.
Yeah, you would have clutched it. God.
I should have. But I wasn't sure if it was too dark
Yeah,
what
that's
the
all right.
vibe was, but I did have that on there.
That's good. That's really good. Couple more of mine. Fetty Wap had like banger after banger, and is
That's
like
a great one.
in and out of prison.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. See,
Yeah, he got arrested with like for transporting drugs across state lines, and he had a lot.
What?
It happens. Same wavelength. We got YNW Melly.
Okay.
Tough luck.
In his defense, he had murder on his mind.
This is true. He didn't even mean to shoot him, though.
Yeah, he just caught him by surprise.
And then another one, going back to Game of Thrones, I got Robb Stark.
Oh, God.
I mean,
for the worst.
he was a king of the North. Come on. And then,
although, the other way, not someone who we had high expectations for, but never achieved it. The other way around, someone who we thought was just going to fizzle, turned out to be the king in the end.
Spoilers.
Shit. Oh, I didn't say it yet.
You didn't say it. I got you.
I didn't say it. Good shit. So, skip this if you don't want to know. Bran Stark.
Yeah.
Give me a
brutal.
break. Give me a
Brutal.
break, dude.
Yeah, that's tough.
Best story, my ass.
Yeah. That's a good one. Let's repeat our four for our lovely listeners.
Yeah, my four are going to be Bruce Jenner, Chip Kelly, Anakin Skywalker, and Victoria Justice.
Nice. For my four, I got Daenerys Targaryen, Severus Snape, Britney Spears, and Keegan Turner on this pod.
That's so good. That is so good.
We'll have a poll. It'll be on Instagram. We'll shout that out at the end of the episode. I did run the last one on both Twitter and Instagram, and it was very confusing. I think we tied.
You got it,
actually.
Of course.
I think we tied. So that was kind of tough. So we're just going to put it on one platform. So make sure to.
What about that? What do we tweet the link to the Instagram?
There we go. So make sure to vote on that. But that was a great Mount Rushmore. We got a lot of steals.
That was fun. A lot of steals.
It's always better when we got steals.
Of course.
I think we're improving our Mount Rushmore game.
I think so too. We're getting a little more creative. Probably should have played the Kobe in the actual Rushmore.
It's all right.
I decided to err on the side of respectful.
Yeah.
Respect.
But we're going to wrap up as we always do with some questions when the listeners ask questions, of course. First one comes from Lincoln Riley, not the USC coach, and he wants to know the question everybody's wanting to know. Is Victor Wembanyama a bust?
Great question. NBA fans will never be topped in terms of drama. I love it. I know, obviously, it's kind of half joking, but of course not. If anything, he's just going to be an elite defender for his entire first year, even if the offense doesn't. And he like his fellow Frenchman, Rudy Gobert. Maybe? There you go. And if we want to get into semantics of because of the hype, what's a bust, what's a bust, and what's not. Yeah, right. That is an argument I don't think I'm trying to have at this moment, but he will be a good NBA player. Yeah. At the very minimum, an elite defender. Yeah, I totally agree. Way too early. The flashes we've seen of him just taking over a game is incredible.
So I don't think he's a bust either. Next question we got from Carrie Guy, shout out. She wants to know, what are your thoughts on the Bob Huggins situation down in West Virginia? So for those, I'll fill the people in. Bob Huggins, West Virginia men's basketball coach, got arrested about a month or two ago, and we really have a challenge. No, sorry. Got arrested.
Play to win the game.
DUI. Had cans on the floor. Sack in the back. And West Virginia was like, we're either going to fire you or you resign. He resigned. Turns out it wasn't actually him. His wife sent an email to the West Virginia athletic program, I guess, and said, we're retiring. And then now Bob Huggins is like, nah, that didn't happen. It was my wife that sent the email. So, Tanner, what are your thoughts on this crazy situation?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's obviously an unforgivable mistake from Huggins. Like, someone could have got really, really injured, even died, and he deserves to be punished for that. And I don't know the legal ramifications of it, but to me, if you resign over email, but it turns out it wasn't you who sent the email, but it was under your address, and the employer uses that as a resignation, I don't think they can be sued for that.
Yeah.
And like unless he's suing to just like not for wrongful treatment, but just to be reinstated as head coach because he technically didn't, then I guess okay. But like they had every indication to believe it was Bob Huggins that sent that. So but
it's definitely weird.
I don't know, and I just imagine that. Imagine like what is it like at home right now if like his wife is literally like, okay, we're resigning. And he's like, no, we're not. Like, he's fighting with his wife now. Like, how is this going on? Yeah. So bizarre. I honestly have no idea what to think. But I just don't. I don't think he should be coaching West Virginia next year. Yeah. So I guess any way to make that possible would be a good outcome. But very, very strange. I don't know if you have any specific.
I'm kind of on the same page as you. Very strange. I don't think we've heard the rest of this situation. I think there's still more out there that we'll find out in the next couple weeks. But yeah, I totally agree. He should not be coaching next year at West Virginia or anywhere, to be honest. But that's kind of our thoughts on it. Obviously, there's going to be more coming out, and we'll see how this plays out. But moving on, a question from Jaron Kirkendall. He wants to know, who are the 5 teams with the best odds to win the college football championship? So I think we should collab.
Why not? Throw some teams out there, huh?
When I saw the 5 teams, I think the first one, Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia was my first one.
Of course.
I think one team that's going to not surprise people because they're always up there. I think Alabama is going to be a different dog this year. We've seen Georgia kind of take them over in that SEC conference, and I think Nick Saban.
Have we overcorrected
I think Nick Saban's pissed.
He's pissed. He's not happy.
I think we're going to see a different Nick Saban this year, and I like Alabama up there. You got any others, man?
I mean, of course, you got to throw out some of the playoff staples like your Ohio State's.
Yeah.
Obviously, question at quarterback, but with the level of talent that they constantly bring in. I mean, like, what the name of the quarterback this year? I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Is it Kyle McCord? Is the guy I'm thinking of? Apparently, this says there's going to be a battle between Kyle McCord and Devin Brown. But still, like, the fact that there's even a battle is a little bit of an issue.
Yeah.
Losing C.J. Stroud, obviously, but Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be like the best wide receiver in college football
for sure.
So they'll have that working for them. Another one that I kind of want to throw out there. I mean, you guys talk about Michigan too. Now the back-to-back Big Ten champions. They've gotten over the Ohio State hump, if you will. So, I mean, it seems like one of them two, whoever wins the Big Ten, pretty much always has a spot in, which would probably be one of them two. The team I want to throw out there personally. How about the team that's returning the best player in college football, USC?
Yeah.
Right? We all know the Pac-12 doesn't necessarily have the best competition, so maybe a lighter schedule on that side of things. But yeah, I mean, are there any other teams you want to throw in there?
I think that's a good list. I mean, USC obviously up there. Will we see Clemson kind of bounce back? That's another team.
Full year of Cade Klubnik, right?
Yeah. What will happen with that?
The experiment is over. Oh.
Damn, going for the head. So that's another one that kind of popped into my mind. Yeah, I think it's hard to predict.
Right. And then
obviously we're going to go with the kind of big names that are always there.
You have some of those like fringe teams, like will Penn State have a good year this year? Well, like a Florida State is going to be a much improved team this year. That little, top 5 is a little, but again, the ACC is so down right now in terms of college football that maybe Florida State can make that jump.
Yeah, is there going to be a team from the Big 12? I mean,
LSU, Oregon. And you look at the Big 12, like last year, obviously TCU was the surprise, but they lost a lot. So will Oklahoma State, like any of these guys that are kind of down right now, but definitely have the program.
Nebraska.
Nebraska, the Matt Rule experiment, baby.
Dude, I think it's obviously we named kind of the obvious, but who knows? It's so early. We'll obviously get a better read on these teams first 3 weeks, honestly.
Pretty soon, honestly.
Minus 50 days, right?
Yeah.
College football
2 days ago was 50 days, yeah.
I think Iowa should be thrown in this conversation.
Oh, yeah. Cade McNamara.
Caleb Johnson. No, obviously kidding, but that'd be pretty sick.
That would be, I mean, it's West or bust for the Hawks. If they don't win the West, serious
or if
problems.
we just don't have an offense like we have for the past.
It's always a possibility.
Last question we got comes from my sister Elizabeth. She wants to know, what are the pros and cons to having siblings?
I mean, obvious answer. It's a sports podcast. You got people to throw the ball with.
Yeah.
You just got to do crap with.
Facts.
Throw the ball with. My brother and I, of course, the kill the carrier out in the front yard with the one-on-one kill the carrier.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter the ball, throwing it, having a catch. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good one.
All of it.
Just having another person like close to your age to talk to.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I think that's a big pro.
Pro, I assume con is next.
Yeah, sure.
Pro, having someone to annoy.
Yeah.
Con,
being annoyed.
Having someone to annoy you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, like, I don't know what your relationship with your brother is, but being older, like,
oh God,
prime, like mid-20s, where you kind of went your, not separate ways because you're siblings, but you kind of like are different parts of your life, and then you come together and it's just like a good time. There's not the bickering that
completely different relationship right now.
It's the best
than it was like 8 years ago when we were in high school and everything. Oh,
yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah, so those are kind of the pros and cons. You got any more?
Not really. Just sharing general resources.
Yeah.
Sharing TV time,
Mm-hmm.
sharing food, where you want to eat, having multiple opinions on crap.
Mm-hmm.
When normally what you said goes.
Yeah.
Now obviously there's someone else in the mix, and some general disagreements will happen. But I think to sum it up is pro someone to annoy, con someone to annoy you.
I think I read this quote every once in a while. It'll pop up on my Twitter. I think the best way to describe a sibling relationship is this, and it is no, I won't share my phone charger with you on a road trip, but I'll give you my kidney if you need it.
Facts. Yeah.
I think that perfectly sums up what siblings.
You ain't getting any of my chips.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'll give you an organ if you need it.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
Any final thoughts, man? Action-packed episode.
Action-packed episode. You'll love to see it. This is kind of what we were hoping to do, right? With our moving to
2 week span.
2 week span. Get a little bit more in the episode. Less just us trying to stretch things out because there's obviously not much going on with sports, but less than 50 days until college football starts, and then when that happens, things ramp up again, and we'll be back on an every week basis.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that will wrap it up for episode 96. We talked about a lot. Winners, losers, NBA Summer League, MLB, talking about the Home Run Derby and those award races. Mount Rushmore, people that didn't pan out the way we thought they would. And obviously wrapping up with some questions. You can follow the pod on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at crunchtime_pod. Like I said in the episode, the poll for the Mount Rushmore for you to vote will be on our Instagram, again, at crunchtime_pod. You can find the link to the Instagram on Thread, Twitter. So make sure to vote on that. That'll be available for 24 hours. But with that will wrap it up for episode 96. The clock has run out on this episode, but we'll see you on the next one on Crunch Time.